Have you ever looked down at your legs or feet and thought, it's probably just age, or maybe my shoes are too tight? What if I told you that what feels like a harmless ache, swelling, or coldness might actually be your heart sending out a desperate SOS right now in America? More than 6 million people are living with congestive heart failure. And here's the chilling truth: many of them ignored the very first warnings written in their ankles and toes until it was too late. I'm Dr. Edward Blake, and in today's video, I'm going to reveal the hidden symptoms in your legs and feet that can expose heart failure before it becomes life-threatening. And don't worry, this isn't just medical jargon. I'll guide you step by step, blending real stories with the latest science, so that by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to watch for and when to act. Because here's the thing, heart failure doesn't always slam into you with chest pain like the movies show. More often, it whispers through swelling, numbness, color changes, and weight shifts you might dismiss as nothing. But those whispers are warning bells, and once you learn to hear them, you'll never see your legs and feet the same way again. So let's begin, starting with the very first sign that millions of Americans mistake for fatigue, when in fact, it's the body's earliest red flag that your heart is in trouble. Think about this. You take off your shoes at the end of the day, and suddenly you notice your ankles look puffier than usual. You brush it off, maybe it's the shoes, maybe you were standing too long. But here's the truth, swollen ankles are not just a fashion problem. They're one of the very first warning signs that your heart may be struggling to keep up. When your heart weakens, it loses the power to pump blood efficiently. That blood starts to back up in your veins, and under the pressure, fluid seeps out into surrounding tissues. And where does that fluid go? Straight down to your ankles, the lowest point, where gravity pulls everything. Doctors call this peripheral edema, and research published in JICC Heart Failure shows that ankle swelling is not only one of the most reported early symptoms of congestive heart failure, it's also one of the strongest predictors of how fast the disease will progress. And here's something most people don't know: unlike swelling caused by heat or standing, heart-related ankle swelling usually affects both ankles equally, and it gets worse as the day goes on. Shoes start feeling tight, socks leave deep marks, and walking becomes heavier, as if you're dragging extra weight with every step. Now, imagine this: millions of people ignore these swollen ankles every single day, thinking it's harmless. And by the time they realize it's their heart crying for help, valuable time has already been lost. But just recognizing ankle swelling isn't enough, because the body has another way of revealing the heart's weakness, one that you can actually test with your own finger in seconds. And that's where things get even scarier. Here's a simple test you can try right now. Take your finger, press it firmly into the swollen skin around your ankle for 10 seconds, and then let go. If a deep dent remains in your skin, that's not ordinary swelling, that's something far more serious. Doctors call it pitting edema, and it's one of the clearest signs that your heart is in real trouble. Let me explain why. When the right side of your heart weakens, it struggles to push blood back into your lungs. That blood begins to pool inside your veins, building pressure like water pushing against a dam. Eventually, the pressure becomes so high that fluid leaks into your tissues, leaving behind that unmistakable pit when you press the skin. Research published in the American Heart Journal confirms the direct connection: pitting edema is strongly linked to right-sided heart failure. And here's what makes it alarming: it doesn't just stay at your ankles. As heart failure progresses, that swelling can slowly creep up your legs, reaching your calves, knees, and even thighs. It's like a silent tide rising inside your body, and most people don't even realize what it means until it's advanced. Picture this: you think it's just water weight, but in reality, it's your circulation collapsing under pressure. That tiny dent in your skin is a red flag your heart is waving, begging for attention before the damage goes further. But spotting swelling and pitting is only part of the story, because the next sign isn't about fluid at all. It's about something far colder, a warning signal your feet can't hide even on the warmest summer day. And once you feel it, you'll never forget it. Have you ever wondered why your feet stay icy cold, even when you're bundled under blankets or walking on a warm summer day. This isn't just poor circulation from sitting too long. In heart failure, cold feet happen because your body is making a desperate choice. When the heart grows too weak to pump enough blood everywhere, it prioritizes survival. It sends the limited blood supply to your brain, your lungs, your kidneys, the organs that keep you alive. And that means your extremities, like your feet, get pushed to the very bottom of the list. Research published in Circulation revealed that patients with reduced cardiac output almost always reported cold feet as one of their earliest, most persistent symptoms. And the pattern is unique, unlike normal cold feet that warm up when you move around. Heart-related cold feet stay consistently cool, no matter what you do. Patients often describe them as not only cold, but pale, bluish, or even dusky in color, because the blood arriving there carries less oxygen than it should. Imagine walking around with feet that never seem to come back to life. It's more than discomfort. It's a chilling signal that your heart is rationing circulation. So the next time your toes feel frozen in a room where everyone else is comfortable, don't just blame the weather. That coldness could be your heart whispering that it can't keep up anymore. But cold feet are only the beginning, because if the heart continues to weaken, your legs will reveal an even darker secret, one you can actually see written on your skin. And once this color change appears, ignoring it could be deadly. Imagine glancing down at your legs one evening and noticing they look darker, almost bluish, as if the color has drained away from them. This isn't a bruise. It isn't just poor lighting. It's a condition doctors call cyanosis, a sign that your blood is no longer carrying enough oxygen to keep your tissues healthy. Here's what's happening inside. In congestive heart failure, your weakened heart struggles to pump blood with enough force. That sluggish circulation means blood lingers too long in your veins. And as it slows, your tissues pull out more and more oxygen. The blood left behind becomes depleted, appearing dark blue or purple under the skin. Research published in ESC Heart Failure has shown that this discoloration almost always appears first in the lower legs, ankles, and feet, the farthest points from your heart and the most vulnerable to gravity's pull. Patients often describe their skin as dusky, mottled, or unnaturally pale with a bluish tint, a visible cry for help from a failing circulation system. And here's the haunting part: by the time your legs are visibly changing color, your body is already fighting a serious oxygen shortage. Every step becomes heavier, every minute of standing more exhausting, as if your muscles are suffocating silently from within. It's not just an aesthetic change, it's your body painting a warning sign right on your skin, hoping you'll finally notice what's happening inside. But cyanosis is only one piece of the puzzle, because while your heart struggles with circulation, the added pressure inside your veins starts to cause another chain reaction, one that weakens the very valves meant to protect your legs. And once those valves begin to fail, the damage can spiral quickly. You've probably seen them before, those twisted rope-like veins bulging under the skin of the legs. For many people, varicose veins are just an inconvenience, something they associate with standing too long or getting older. But when congestive heart failure enters the picture, these veins aren't just cosmetic anymore. They can become a dangerous red flag. Here's why. In healthy legs, tiny one-way valves inside the veins keep blood moving upward, against gravity, back toward the heart. But when the heart weakens, pressure in the venous system builds like a backed-up highway. That extra pressure overwhelms the valves, forcing blood to pool in the veins until they bulge and twist even more. Research in vascular medicine confirms that heart failure accelerates the breakdown of these valves, making varicose veins progress faster and more severely than normal. Patients often notice their veins becoming darker, larger, and more painful in a matter of months, not years. And this isn't just about appearance. When blood pools in your legs, it makes your heart's job even harder, trapping circulation in a vicious cycle of pressure and weakness. Think of it this way: every bulging vein is like a stress crack in your circulation system, a visible mark of the pressure building inside. Ignoring it is like ignoring a warning light on your car's dashboard. You might keep driving, but the damage is spreading, But worsening varicose veins aren't the only sign your legs will reveal, because at night, when you finally lie down to rest, another symptom often creeps in, one that makes peace and sleep almost impossible. And once you've felt it, you know how tormenting it can be. Picture this. After a long day, you finally lie down hoping for rest, but instead of drifting into sleep, your legs come alive with strange, crawling sensations, tingling, burning, or an overwhelming urge to keep moving them. This is not just insomnia. For many patients with congestive heart failure, it's restless leg syndrome, triggered by the very fluid their weakened heart couldn't manage during the day. Here's the chain reaction. When you're upright, gravity pulls excess fluid into your legs and feet. Then, as you lie down, that fluid shifts back toward your core. This sudden redistribution doesn't just strain your circulation, it presses on nerves, disrupts electrolytes, and sends confusing signals to your brain. The result, your legs feel possessed by an uncontrollable need to move. Research published in Sleep Medicine Reviews reveals a strong link between nighttime fluid shifts and restless legs in heart failure patients. And it's more than an annoyance. Poor sleep robs your body of the recovery it desperately needs, leaving you more fatigued and less resilient the next day. Over time, the cycle of fluid retention by day and restless nights only adds to the heart's burden. Patients often describe it like this: "It feels like my legs have a mind of their own." And the tragedy is, many never realize the problem is tied directly to their failing heart. But restless legs aren't the only nighttime struggle. Because when you do manage to stand and walk the next day, your legs may reveal another secret sharp pain and cramping that make every step feel like a battle. And that pain is one of the clearest warnings that your heart can no longer keep up. Imagine taking a simple walk across your living room or to the mailbox, and halfway there, your calves tighten, burning with pain as if you've just run a marathon. This isn't ordinary muscle fatigue. It's called claudication, and it's one of the most functionally limiting symptoms of congestive heart failure. Here's what's really happening. When your heart can't pump strong enough, your leg muscles, the largest muscles in your body, don't get the oxygen-rich blood they need during activity. Starved of oxygen, they're forced to switch to a backup system, anaerobic metabolism. And while this keeps you moving, it also floods your muscles with lactic acid, leaving behind that stabbing pain and cramping sensation. Research in the Journal of Cardiac Failure found that patients with declining cardiac output almost always report muscle pain, fatigue, or cramping in their legs during simple activities. What used to feel effortless, walking to the store, climbing a few steps, suddenly becomes a battle. Many describe it as their legs running out of power. And here's the heartbreaking truth: the pain isn't just in the muscles. It's your entire circulatory system waving a red flag, warning that your heart is no longer able to meet your body's most basic demands. But leg pain is only part of the story, because as fluid builds up in your tissues, it doesn't just change how your legs feel, it even changes how your skin looks, stretching and reshaping it in ways that tell their own story. And once you notice this transformation in your skin, you'll realize just how deep the problem runs. Look closely at the skin on your lower legs. Does it seem unusually shiny, stretched tight, or almost glassy under the light? This isn't just dry skin or aging. It's a warning sign that fluid buildup from congestive heart failure has begun to change the very structure of your skin. Here's the process. As your weakened heart allows fluid to leak from blood vessels into surrounding tissues, the skin is forced to stretch beyond its normal capacity. That stretching flattens pores and hair follicles, erasing the natural matte look and leaving behind a smooth, glossy surface. Over time, the skin becomes fragile, prone to cracks, sores, and infections that heal slowly, if they heal at all. Research published in Heart and Lung, the Journal of Acute and Critical Care, documented these skin changes in patients with chronic heart failure. Doctors often describe the legs as appearing taut and translucent, almost like the skin is being pulled from the inside out. Patients frequently notice that their socks leave deep imprints, and even light pressure can leave marks that linger. It's not only about appearance, it's a signal that circulation and tissue health are breaking down. And once the skin weakens, it sets the stage for something even more alarming: wounds and sores that refuse to heal, no matter how small they begin. And when that happens, it's no longer just a cosmetic issue. It's a dangerous complication that can change everything. Imagine getting a small cut on your ankle, the kind you expect to fade in a few days. But instead of closing, it lingers for weeks, maybe even months, never quite healing the way it should. This is more than just slow recovery. It's a sign that your heart can't pump enough oxygen-rich blood to the tissues that need it most. Doctors call it tissue hypoxia, and it strikes hardest in the legs and feet, the farthest points from your struggling heart. Wound healing is one of the most energy-demanding processes in the body. It requires oxygen, nutrients, immune cells, and growth factors, all delivered through healthy circulation. But research in JAMA found that patients with heart failure consistently experienced delayed wound healing because their circulation simply couldn't keep up. The blood wasn't delivering enough fuel to drive the body's natural repair system. Patients often describe these sores as stubborn, painful, and frustrating, as if the body has forgotten how to fix itself. And every day that a wound stays open, the risk of infection climbs, creating another serious threat to an already weakened system. But here's the hidden danger: delayed healing isn't just about the skin. It's a message that your body is losing its ability to repair itself under the strain of heart failure. And when nerves themselves begin to starve for oxygen, the signals get even stranger, showing up not as open wounds, but as tingling, numbness, and burning sensations you can't ignore. And once those sensations start, they reveal a whole new level of damage. Have you ever felt pins and needles in your feet, as if they'd fallen asleep, but no amount of stretching or moving seems to make it go away? For patients with congestive heart failure, this numbness or tingling isn't just an annoyance. It's a clear sign that circulation and nerves are under attack. Here's why it happens. As fluid builds up in your legs and ankles, the swelling presses on tiny nerves, compressing them like wires squeezed under too much weight. That pressure distorts the signals they send, creating sensations of burning, stabbing pain, or complete numbness. But there's a second, even more dangerous mechanism. When your heart fails to deliver enough oxygen-rich blood to your extremities, your nerves themselves begin to starve. Deprived of oxygen, they misfire, sending false signals that your brain interprets as tingling, buzzing, or sudden jolts. Research in current heart failure reports shows these neurological symptoms are especially common in the feet and ankles, where swelling and circulation problems are the worst. Many patients describe the feeling as walking on needles, or as if their feet aren't even part of their body anymore. It's more than discomfort. It's a sign that both your circulation and your nervous system are breaking down under the weight of heart failure. And here's the kicker: when numbness and tingling appear, they don't come alone. They're often joined by another red flag: rapid weight gain in the lower body. Not from food, but from trapped fluid building up inside you. And when that weight piles on in just days, it's one of the most urgent signals your heart can send. Step on the scale one morning and realize you're suddenly 5, maybe even 10 pounds heavier than just a few days ago. You didn't change your diet. You didn't binge on fast food. So where did all that weight come from? In congestive heart failure, the answer is fluid. When your weakened heart can't pump blood effectively, pressure rises in your veins. That pressure forces fluid out of your blood vessels and into your tissues, where it collects silently. Unlike gradual weight gain from eating more, this can happen frighteningly fast, sometimes 10 to 15 pounds in a single week. Research published in Mayo Clinic Proceedings identifies rapid weight gain from fluid retention as one of the most critical red flags of worsening or decompensated heart failure. Doctors know that when weight climbs this quickly, it often signals that the body has lost its ability to maintain balance, and immediate medical attention is needed. Patients often notice their weight lowest in the morning after lying flat all night, only to watch the numbers climb steadily throughout the day as fluid pools back into the legs. It's a daily cycle. a roller coaster that has nothing to do with food and everything to do with a failing heart. So if your scale tells a story of sudden, unexplained weight gain, don't dismiss it as water weight or bad luck. It could be your body's loudest, most urgent cry for help. And that's why, after walking through these 11 symptoms, the message becomes undeniable. Your legs and feet are not just carrying you. They're carrying the truth about your heart's health. And recognizing those truths early might be the very thing that saves your life. Your heart has been working faithfully since the very first day of your life, and it deserves your care and attention now more than ever. Even small changes, moving a little more, eating smarter, managing stress, and never ignoring unusual symptoms can make a powerful difference in protecting your heart. Remember, taking action early isn't about fear. It's about giving yourself the best chance for a longer, healthier life. If you found this video helpful, I encourage you to save it so you can revisit these life-saving reminders anytime. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you'll always receive the latest trusted medical insights to keep your heart strong and resilient. Because here's the hopeful truth: heart failure is not the end of your story. With knowledge, awareness, and timely care, you can slow it down, manage it, and still live fully. Your heart is asking for your attention. Give it the love and protection it deserves, and your future can be brighter than you think.